Well, good morning, everyone. And once again, welcome to another live this morning, and hope you're having a great start to your day. We certainly are. Hope you had your vitamin C, your coffee. And let's say hello to a few friends as you come on this morning. Thanks for being such loyal, faithful, consistent watchers and listeners to the Doctor is in podcast. Brahim, you're numero uno. Mike from Norland, Andrea, Niagara Falls, the Trinity. They stick together like glue. Jocelyn, Sturgeon Falls, Rosa, Montreal. We appreciate you guys. Denise, how are you? From Chatham, Kent. Rain Cloud from Michigan. And that's Rosalinda from Niagara Falls. Nick from our staff, friend from Orangeville. Nellie, good morning. Lori from Alberta, thanks for coming on. Wendy from Markham. Lorraine from British Columbia. Who is that in West Virginia? I missed the name. Shirley. And Yolande, bonjour. Maryland, Kelowna. Who is that in West Virginia now? Come back on. Donna, Newfoundland. Dan, good morning. Diane from LaSalle. Jeanette, de Kapuskasing, Ontario. Janice, Brampton. John, Finland. How are you? Milika, Stouffville. Joanne, Port Salerno, Florida. John, Lefroy, and he says it's snowing. Gloria, New York. Denise, I don't think we got the memo on spring yet. Patricia, how are you? Who is that? I think it was Helga, but I might have. Luella, West Tennessee. Donna, Bell Valley, good morning. Karen, good morning to you. Francis, Vaughn, and Crystal. Cheryl, that was you, Cheryl, in West Virginia. Thanks for coming back up and let me see that. Suzanne, Mona from Newfoundland. And Nativity saying it's cold, cold, cold. It's sure cold here in Sudbury. And you know what? Who was that in Maryland? I couldn't see that first name. It goes up, guys, up into the clouds. I don't see it. Keith, Carol, West Virginia. Donna, and Cynthia, Chelmsford, and Cecilia, Sudbury, all in around my hometown here. Edith and Kevin, there you are, my friend from Oshawa. Wanda from Virginia. We love you guys. Derek, a couple of more guys. Etta, New Brunswick. Catherine, how are you? Jude. Did I say hello to you already, Jude? And Helga, Karen. Okay, one more. I can't see it. Little Britain. Guylaine, Quebec City. Bonjour. Heather from Miramichi. Miramichi. That's how you say it, isn't it? Miramichi. Okay. Somebody had to correct me on that. Miramichi. Good to have you on. Okay, let's get to some of our... I wanted to talk to you first about cholesterol because I have to do it almost every day. And guys, for 50 years now, I've been telling people having bad cholesterol is overrated because there's no such thing. Okay? There's no such thing. It was, you know, and people have written books about this to call it the cholesterol hoax. I'm telling you, I get a migraine when I think about all the nonsense about cholesterol. But let me give you a couple of reasons why you need cholesterol. Okay? Let me give you a couple. Numero uno. You don't make any hormones without cholesterol. And I'm telling you, one of the biggest problems in hormones, okay? When especially women, but even men, because men, you need cholesterol for testosterone. Ladies, you need cholesterol for your estrogen, your progesterone. You need it. It's a carrier. Think of, like I look out my window here and every day I see FedEx, Amazon, Canada Post. They're delivering. They come they come on the street all the time. And I'm sure you guys see that too, right? And are they bad guys? Well, of course not. They're delivering. They're delivering. And that's what cholesterol, one of its biggest functions of cholesterol is it's a delivery. Especially your LDL. They made it out to be a bad guy. But you need LDL to deliver. And I'm telling you, one of the reasons, okay, it's one of the reasons, not the only reason, but one of the reasons. And women, ladies, I'm talking to you. You got duped. You got duped a long time ago, okay? Once upon a time, but I'm not kidding you, a long time ago, because cholesterol was a boogeyman, they convinced the world. Who convinced the world? Well, big food and big pharma. What did they do? Well, cholesterol bad because cholesterol clogs up your arteries, okay? Cholesterol very, very bad for you. It clogs up your arteries. Therefore, we must stop eating cholesterol-based foods. Butter, eggs, meat, cheese. Yeah, because cholesterol, when you eat it, is only found in the animal kingdom. Now, your body makes 85% of it. You know my statement. I've written this in many books. God don't trust you. Okay? God doesn't trust you. Therefore, your body makes 85% of cholesterol and you are responsible for 15%. Now, if you don't eat your 15%, well, you're not going to drop dead. Okay? You won't drop dead. Well, not immediately. But you will be deficient in cholesterol. You will be deficient in cholesterol. And that's not good. It's not good for your hormones, ladies. You know what's hard? The reset is hard. For a lot of people, especially women, they find the reset difficult. Okay, what is the reset again? 30 days, eggs, meat, and cheese. Okay, they find that very difficult because, like I said, women especially have bought the lie about cholesterol and they maybe don't think of it, but they kind of like salad. And they like their vegetables. They like their fruit. They like their beans. Like, I don't hear men talking about chickpeas. Oh, give me a chickpeas. We talked about chickpeas yesterday, right? Or maybe it was on Friday. No, but really, you don't hear men talk like, man, I love chickpeas. You do? But women do. Okay? I'm just, guys, don't come after me, okay? I'm just joking to some extent, but it's true, isn't it? And so what happened for the last 40 years or so, Women have not been eating enough cholesterol. Therefore, they don't get enough delivery of when they tell you you're perimenopausal or menopausal and your estrogen is going down? Yeah, you know me, I don't like estrogen. Well, I like estrogen, but I don't like giving estrogen. Okay, because we live in a world that is full of estrogen. Everything almost, any chemical that you can think of, any plastic that you can think of, anything that's air fresheners or underarm deodorants or whatever, they increase your estrogen. They're called xenoestrogens. Now, you won't measure that in your blood. By the way, you can't measure that in your blood. You'll measure estrogen or estradiol, but you won't measure that estrogen. I used to measure it by looking at it on your skin. Yeah. It's unfortunate. They don't do it. But you can really see estrogen when it's in the wrong places. And you have no idea how many thousands of women that I did a scan of, and they look like lepers, okay? Let me see. I think I have a picture of this. Hold on. And if I can't find it right away, where is it? Oh, I'll get it out for tomorrow's program because I'm going to be fishing around all morning. I don't want to do that. Okay. Oh, no, here it is. 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 Okay. I knew I looked at this yesterday. Okay. Let's see if I have the before and after. I only got the after. Okay. So we'll talk about this tomorrow. I'll get the other one. Okay. Back to cholesterol. Cholesterol, when you see those trucks, Amazon, FedEx, Purolator, whatever, okay? Canada Post, US Post. When you see them on the roads, they're not bad. They're good. They're delivering. That's your cholesterol. Especially your LDL. Especially your LDL. Now, number two, the second reason you want to keep your cholesterol elevated, not down, up. Why? Why? Because cholesterol is involved in fat-soluble vitamins. You need cholesterol to absorb vitamin A, vitamin D, okay, vitamin K, okay? You need cholesterol. Even the other vitamin E, you know me, I'm big on the real vitamin E, which is exercise. But the other vitamin E, you can't even absorb it without cholesterol. Did you know that? Why do we insist? And I'm telling you, one of the things that I noticed with people that were on statin drugs is they were very deficient, oftentimes, in vitamin D. What? Well, yeah, their cholesterol was down. They weren't absorbing vitamin D properly. And vitamin D, there's nothing more. Is there anything more important than vitamin D? Sun. The sun. So, you don't want low cholesterol. You don't. At any time. Why do you want low cholesterol? Okay, so one, it's a transporter. Two, it helps you absorb fat-soluble vitamins. And by the way, when the Inuit, okay, we used to call them the Eskimo, okay, until that became a bad word. I don't know why, but anyway, I don't want to get political, but apparently you can't call Eskimos Eskimos. You have to call them the Inuit, okay? Okay, whatever. But the Inuit, do you know that they didn't know what heart disease was? Now, that doesn't mean they lived till they were 110, because the polar bears ate them. But they didn't die of heart disease. This has been studied. You can go back 100 years and even more to realize that the people in the Arctic have been studied, and you would think they'd be croaking from heart disease for all the blubber and all the fat and all the cholesterol that they eat, but actually the opposite is true. Their blood vessels were spick and span. Boy, I'm aging myself, right? If I said to a young person today, spick and span, they wouldn't even know what I'm talking about. But do you guys remember that? Spick and span? Okay? Their blood vessels were spick and span. Clean. Very clean. You know, you didn't see the Inuit running after a seal, chasing a seal and dying of a heart attack. Guys, there are the facts. They don't die. You know how the Inuit die today? When they're introduced to the food that you and I eat. When they're introduced to processed foods. When they're introduced to sugars and crappy carbohydrates with all those stinking seed oils. Okay? Because if you, and they did this was tested. When they looked at people that ate a lot of fat, their triglycerides were down, animal fat, cholesterol, their triglycerides were down, and their HDL and LDL are up. That's a good thing for your heart. That's a good thing for your brain. Okay? And that's the third one I wanted to mention. Hear that up there? Your brain. People have been so duped. Okay? They're so duped. Do you think the best food for your brain is vegetables and fruit? And I'm not saying you can't eat them. Okay? I'm not saying that. But don't tell me that's the best food for your brain, because it's not. The best food for your brain is fat, cholesterol, in the animal kingdom. I'll tell you, when they look at, on autopsy, people that have MS, Parkinson's, other degenerative dementias. Okay, MS is not a dementia, but Parkinson's is. And these neurological, the brain is fat-free. Why do you want, the brain shrinks. Why do you want a shrinking brain? You want a fat brain, fathead. I remember when I said that on my radio show, I don't know, 20-something years ago. Call me fathead. It's a compliment. Dr. Martin, you're a fathead. That's a compliment. I take it as a compliment. I want fat in my head. You want fat in your head. Now, your body has fat in the head, but why wouldn't you constantly be giving it more and more and more and more? See, not only is fat the best fuel to burn, it's logs on the fire instead of paper and twigs. It's better than anything. Okay? And we live in a carb-crazy world. The world has gone crazy with carbohydrates and even proteins that don't have all the amino acids. And, you know, people are in love with the vegetable kingdom. I see commercials on TV all the time. oh, I don't get enough fruits and vegetables, and therefore I'm going to take a supplement of fruits and vegetables, and everything is better. I feel it's fruits and vegetables. Well, if you would just eat steak, if you would just eat more eggs, if you would just eat more dairy, have more butter, have more cheese, you'll find out that's so much better for you than fruits and vegetables. They put fruits and vegetables in capsules now. Because if you don't get enough of that, there's no vitamin A in fruits and vegetables. There's no vitamin D in fruits and vegetables. I'm sorry, there's not. You don't have essential amino acids like L-carnitine, L-carnosine, CoQ10. They're not in the plant kingdom. Okay? Again, because people come after me all the time. Dr. Martin hates fruits and vegetables. No, I don't. I just don't like it when they're put on the top of the food chain. That's what I don't like, because it's not true. And it's an agenda. And it's amazing the power of the pharmaceutical industry and the food industry. It's amazing to me, their power. They run everything. They run the government. Try go against them. Woo. I'm just a little guy. But I've had a few people say this in the last couple of weeks, and they posted it, comments or whatever on our private Facebook group or whatever, and they're saying, well, Dr. Martin, one thing about you, I've been following you for 25 years or more, 30 years or more, and you've always said the same thing, eat steak. Yeah. And guys, don't wait for me to change my mind about that, because you just look at the nutrient density, okay? So those are reasons, guys, to eat the way I do. There was someone this morning, and we really appreciate when someone goes on the reset, would you sign up? What I mean by that is get on the private Facebook group and tell us, I'm doing the reset. Why? Because you will have not only hundreds, but thousands of people patting you on the back and telling you, keep going. Okay? There was a lady on there this morning, I saw it, but she was so discouraged because after 3 days, she felt, holy moly, like I just got hit by a truck. Yeah. Well, you're doing a reset. You need it. Your liver needs it. What? You want to empty your liver. Your liver is the detox organ. The reset. Within the first week, you're emptying the liver of all of its toxins, of all of its fat. As soon as you eliminate fat in the liver, because that's one of the fat storage places that your body loves the best, to put it into your liver. I mean muscle, but liver. I call it the Costco parking lot. Okay? Go to Costco. If you got a Costco in your hometown, go to Costco. I've never seen a parking lot that's so busy all the time. And when I see the Costco parking lot, I think of your liver. Or not your liver, but people's liver that's full of fat. It's packed up with fat. The reset will empty your liver. You have no idea how good that is for you. Just if you did nothing else in the reset, but empty your liver. Folks, people talk to me, Doc, I got parasites. What should I do? Empty your liver. Doc, I got yeast. Empty your liver. Doc, I got heavy metals like mercury, lead, cadmium. I hear, I saw something even early this morning. I was listening to a presentation on parasites, and all cancers have parasites. Yeah, okay. What do you do about it? Okay? And there's a lot of doctors that said all cancers have yeast in it. That I believe even more than parasites, because there's good research on that. Yeah, okay. What do I do about that? Well, number one, empty your liver. Because your body has a detox system that's incredible. And your liver makes, when it's empty, will make glutathione. Okay? What's glutathione? Velcro. What does Velcro do? It sticks to parasites, yeast, okay? Toxins like heavy metals, mercury, lead, cadmium. I used to see all the time aluminum. I used to test for that. I used to do a urine test for that. Unbelievable. The amount of people that had heavy metals. And I go, you know why you got heavy metals? You don't have enough glutathione. You know why you don't have enough glutathione? Because your liver is all packed up. How did my liver get packed up, Doc? Well, you're eating too many carbs. And carbs, bread, pasta, rice, cereal, sugar, sweets, juices, store-bought milk, bagels, muffins, beans. They're just sugar molecules holding hands. And insulin takes that sugar because it can't stay in the bloodstream and stores it. If you don't have enough room in your muscles, it aims for the liver, and it packs the liver with fat, glycogen, fat. Sugar turns to fat, not cholesterol. That's why you got to stick to the reset. You're on day 3, day 4, you're not there yet. But good things are happening in your body, even if you don't feel it. Your insulin resistance is going down. Your liver is emptying. Your brain is saying, thank you. Thank you. Because you're giving your brain the fuel it needs. You're giving your brain the cholesterol it needs. You're now delivering more hormones. And by the way, it's twofold. Hormones are twofold, okay? Hormones are twofold because remember what I said, the higher your cholesterol, the more FedEx, Canada Post, Amazon trucks, whatever, on the highways and byways delivering your hormones. Estrogen, progesterone, testosterone in men. It's one of the reasons men got very low testosterone is they don't, they bought the lie. They don't eat the right foods. But the other thing is when your liver is empty, remember, ladies, especially ladies, listen, Linda, please. In your liver is directly tied to your thyroid. Direct. Why? Because T4, okay? T4. Your thyroid can't use T4. It needs to be converted to T3. Okay? And guess where that conversion takes place? Where does the conversion of T4 to T3 take place? In your liver. When it's empty. Not when it's full of fat. When it's full of fat, your thyroid will slow to a crawl, ladies. And I say ladies because men, we got other problems. But we usually don't get, not that we can't get it. We got a thyroid too. But you know what I always say about the thyroid is connected. There's a lot of strings attached to the thyroid. One of the strings attached is your liver. Not only your cholesterol, which transports your thyroid hormones. Okay? It's on the highways and byways transporting. But you do a lot better when your liver is empty. Guys, there are the facts. And here's the problem. Let me finish with this. Here's one of the biggest problems. In medicine, God bless them. God love them. But they don't understand. They've forgotten their biochemistry. They really have. All you have to do is go to take biochemistry 101 to understand cholesterol, and then guess what they do? They undo all of it. It was a good guy in biochemistry. Your cholesterol was good guy in biochemistry and a bad guy in medicine. How does that happen? Think about that process. How can you go from being a good guy in biochemistry, cholesterol, your body can't live without cholesterol? And now it's a bad guy. Soon as you get into medical school, they teach you and reteach you and reteach you cholesterol bad. You're going to have a stroke. You're going to have a heart attack. Hammer, 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 hammer down cholesterol. True or false? That's a true statement. It's a true statement. You see, I got taught like that too. I had to undo all of it. Biochemistry. Cholesterol is good. You need cholesterol. It's good for you. Your brain's made up of cholesterol. Your cells are made up of cholesterol. Cholesterol, it transports all your hormones. Cholesterol is fat, helps you to absorb your fat-soluble vitamins. What? Why is it bad? But you see, doctors, they get trained. And because they forget biochemistry, one, and number two, they don't take any nutrition in medical school. So my statement has always been, if you want to get good nutritional advice, go see your plumber compared to your medical doctor. I know that sounds silly, but I sort of mean it. You want good nutritional advice? You might as well go talk to your plumber about that compared to your family doctor. I hate to be negative, but I've got a lot of physicians, even in my family. Love them dearly. You break an arm, don't come see me. You get in a car accident, don't come see me. Okay? Don't come see me. But you want to be healthy? Well, don't come see me anymore. Listen, Linda, and listen, Larry. That's what I want you to do now. I want you to hear the other side, guys. Okay? Guys, this is an important podcast, okay? So share it. By midday, it'll be probably around 8,000 to 10,000 people. But how about we get it up to 20,000, 30,000 people just for today? If you share it, here's what I know? Nothing about Facebook. You know what I know about Facebook? Nothing. Okay? I know nothing. But here's what I do know. You share something and it becomes with them part of their algorithm. And when it hits a certain thing, guess what? Facebook shares it. They pump it up. You pump it, they pump it. I never understood that. I still don't understand how they do it. Okay? Don't ask me. I'm an old man. Okay? Guys, I know I tell you this every program. I'm going to tell you again. We love you dearly. I love my audience. I want you to question. I don't want you to accept things at face value. You question, use your brain. God gave you a brain. What do you have up in here? You got a brain, okay? There's a verse in the Bible says, get the truth and never sell it. Get wisdom, get discipline, and discernment. I love that verse. Proverbs 23 and 23. Okay? You get it. Hold on to it. Okay. We love you guys. Talk to you soon.